Understanding the right intelligence. Intelligence in a technology or in an outward system is different from possessing intelligence with regard to life, which consists of relationships, happiness, sorrow, fear, disease, competition, accomplishments, hopes, death, and so on. Right intelligence means that which shows things as they are. Right intelligence will show the truth of what is sorrow, fear, hopes, and the like, and hence right approach would be taken. Right intelligence uses its intelligence to know the life's issues. The wrong intelligence, which tried to solve the problem of relationships, sorrow, fear, hopes, loneliness, and so on, by the way of explanation, analysis, and rationalization, have never solved those yet. Now, how can we further deal with it? If any of the dominants asserts that they will solve the human problems, shall we confirm that it is wrong intelligence? Or shall we go into this matter a bit? Except as certain things, too much of detailing a thing about the main issues of life is actually to be considered as wrong intelligence. That's why things should not be explained too much. For an example, if somebody explains about some truth, that explanation alone is actually not the truth. Holding on to the explanation, the learner may arrive at the truth in due course of time. Truth is different from the explanations about it. To the major issues of life, if detailed too much, the learner will get stuck in the details of it and will not proceed towards the actual truth. Why? Because explanations will lead to arguments. Explained content does not contain the whole truth in it. It contains a shadow of truth only. One may get confused if the other gives the opposite explanation, because those opposite explanations also may contain a shadow of truth in it. Arguments take its stance only in explanations, never in truth. One may tend to forget that truth is entirely different from the explanations about it. She or he may take the explanations for truth and hence may not proceed towards the actual. Or knowing the explanations, they may think that they know the truth. In following the explanations, they may think they follow the truth. One may completely forget that truth and explanations about it are entirely different things. If somebody explains about colors to a blind man in an understandable manner, does that mean that the blind man has understood what colors are, even if he possesses greater acumen and intelligence? In turn, after learning volumes of explanations about colors, if the blind man explains so beautifully about colors to the other blind men, does that mean he really knows colors? What then is actual knowing? If eyes are given to a blind man, instantly he will see the truth of colors, and he will throw away all the explanations in which he lived with before. For he now knows all those explanations are wrong and elusive, and indeed one need not have any explanation at all. The only need is eyes. With truth, there is no argument. If one knows the sacred, then there is no argument. If one knows only the explanations of the sacred, then there is no end to argument, and moreover, one will never proceed towards the sacred at all, because these too much explanations will never allow her or him to arrive at the sacred. One is oblivious of the fact that knowledge about the truth is different from truth. That's why one must be very careful with the wrong authors, scholars, elucidators, and the brainy birds of this world. Giving importance to knowledge, which are mere explanations, denies the attainment of the truth, whatever truth it may be, not necessarily about the sacred. Therefore, that which promises a solution by the way of too much explanation is actually to be considered as wrong intelligence. If one sees a simple truth, one should act accordingly, and from that act, knowledge about it follows. But if one goes after knowledge and explanations on the first hand, then possibly action is denied. Wanting to act first and then know, wanting to know first and then act, are two completely different things. The knowledge which the action gave may be entirely different from the knowledge which was prescribed for action. Wanting to know first before action is the path of wrong intellectuals. Wanting to act first and thereby knowing is the path of right intellectuals. The center of the wrong intellectuals is fear, because she or he wants to be safe and be confirmed before acting. The center of the right intellectuals is innocence, because she or he acts first like a child. In following the path of wrong intellectuals and wrong scholars, there is no end in understanding, and therefore there comes no moment for one to completely act. At one point of time, wrong intellectuals will get caught in contrary truths in the field of knowledge, whereby one's action is totally at stake. In following the path of innocences, one acts first, and out of that direct contact with things, one knows. Action is powerful than knowledge. Knowledge is never the power in understanding life's issues. One shall ask, are explanations unnecessary for action? Explanations are necessary for action, but it should contain only the crux of the matter. One should condense many lines of explanation to one or two lines, and with the support of that, one shall act, and in that right action, one shall arrive at the truth which surpasses all lines. What if the innocents act wrongly a few times on something, and learning from it, then rightly act? Is right action of the innocents and right action of the intellectuals both mean the same? Is not the innocent's right action has life in it, energy in it, learning in it? Is not the wrong intellectuals' right action mere a photocopy of their partial knowledge? It is from the fearful persons that the wrong intelligence had sprouted. Wrong intelligence seizes innocence and babyishness. Without innocence and babyishness, peace is a mirage. The whole of the scholarly world, which explains the meaning of life, purpose of life, saying what to do and what not to do to attain peace, are themselves not in peace. Their peace is also a photocopy. We are not targeting the right scholars and wise people of the world here, please. People are being exploited by the wrong intellectuals for so long a time. People who are being able to see only the intelligence part of these scholars are unable to see its wrongness and its destiny. One should adopt only right intelligence, and under that light should see whether all the problems of life could be solved. If a human being observes his previous state of maturity or stage, it will be beneficial in understanding certain major issues. If one observes her or his childhood days and the problems and experiences occurred therein, she or he would also observe that the same experiences and problems of childhood do not exist now. While in childhood you were in one world. In it you possessed many things, and due to that you would have experienced the feeling of joy, grief, hope, jealousy, love, hate, fear, compassion, and so on. Suppose there lived a few scholarly and intelligent children who promises the way of ending your cry, ending your grief, and put you up in everlasting joy. You will probe them for guidelines. And of course, they give dozens. And in following a dozen steps or in analyzing and learning about sorrow, fear, hate, jealousy, and so on, will you be able to get rid of those experiences? Or, actually, there are no answers or solutions to those problems while being and remaining in that stage. But now, after coming out of that childhood and being a youth or aged, the doll which was a problem to you, or so many things alike which haunted you and put in grief, have altogether come to an end by itself without you giving a solution to it, without you finding an answer to it. How? It is because of a shift of one maturity to another, from one stage to another. There are no solutions or answers to problems in the childhood world. In the same way, there are no answers or solutions while living and remaining in the same field of maturity or stage. When a shift of maturity happens naturally, when the stage or maturity which you lived in previously and its unsolvable problems ends entirely, only in this way the problems can be ended, not in sitting and solving it with the help of scholars or priests. The scholars or priests who offer solutions and answers do equally live in the same field of maturity. Now, what the youth perceives as problems and joy experiences will end by itself when they grow up to other maturity level. So, childhood is a world, teen is a world, middle age is a world, and very old age is also a world. There are no answers or solutions anywhere to anybody to the problems and issues pertaining a stage. One who enters a world of certain stage or maturity and starts experiencing should not say, I will solve all the problems, answer all the questions pertain to that world or stage, and then will come out maturely and an all-knowing person. The life's truth is formulated in such a way that one can only shift her or his consciousness or maturity to a level forward and seize the previous level, not by solving it by remaining in the same field of maturity or stage, by using any formula even of the highest standard. Hence, a girl and a boy, women and men should possess right intelligence and understand that the problems which exist in this life belongs to its stage in maturity, and that stage determines one's desires, views, hopes, satisfaction, violence, greed, fear, sorrow, self-centered activities and the like, and one should understand it basically in their heart. It is not that one should not solve the problem when faced. One's mind will automatically go into the process of relieving itself from a problem with the background of right intelligence, wholeness, and wisdom. How to shift the conscious level or the maturity level so that the problems and experiences end. The shift of maturity should not be horizontal, from youth to middle-aged maturity or from middle-age to old-age maturity. It should be vertical. Vertical shift seizes the entire stage's problems. This vertical shift happens when one sees one's own physical body's reactions and feelings while experiencing something. That is, while experiencing some sorrow, one should see how their physical face and body reacts and experiences sorrow. While experiencing fear, one should see how their physical face and body reacts and experiences fear. While experiencing happiness, one should see how their physical face and body reacts and experiences happiness. In the same way, one should see how their physical face and body reacts and experiences to whatever one is confronted with. On being with one's own physical body's reactions and activities, suddenly one's maturity is shifted vertically. This vertical shift of maturity seizes all the horizontal stages of one's life, along with its problems of sorrow, stress, fear, frustration and the like, and places one in an ageless state. If this shift happens, then she or he possesses right intelligence.